Welcome back to Glamour Unfiltered, hosted by me, Josh Smith. And today we're joined by two living queens of Disney, Angelina and Jolie. Elle Fanning, how are you?
Very good, thank you.
I was in bits watching this towards the end, like full-on sobs in the cinema. And what was so amazing for me is the kind of journey of self-discovery both of your characters go on. What has your own journey of self-discovery been like for you? And what would you say have been the biggest turning points in that?
I've had many. I think it's that it is very important to me that the film speaks about finding your true self and being your true self, no matter how people see you or what they feel you should be, and to accept each other and to want for other people to be. I see somebody who's not being themselves and I feel like it's like a choking feeling, like they can't breathe, and so many people are living that way, whether it be the politics of the country they're in or the home they live in, and it's horrible. So I certainly haven't had situations like some, and so I don't want to complain, but I have had things that have made me not feel I can breathe, and I've had to fight to find that.
How did you fight to find that?
My children helped me. And I guess you go through a certain point of pain or loss, and you just, you either go down or you get back up.
What's that been like for you, Elle?
I think for everyone, you have to find your fight. My mom always says, like, the way you handle disappointments is what defines you. And I've always kind of took that into, you can do one of two things. You can get back up, or, kind of drown in your sorrows about it. So you have to learn to rise above the water, I think. But I think that's a great little saying that she always says.
Oh God, 100%. Something we should all probably be following in our own lives as well, for sure. I know that's going to help me going through. I was thinking about the fact that in this, Maleficent has so many of her own critics around her. And she also has her own self-critic as well. What is your relationship with like criticism and your own self-critic been like for both of you?
I don't feel like I've ever been without criticism or judgment, or I was a bit odd growing up and a bit of a punk and a bit of a different, and I was never the like popular, regular, and I kind of never wanted to be. So it was okay. I don't know, I never really sought approval. Maybe it's because I did have a strong mother who loved me, and so I didn't feel like I wasn't okay. I'm self-critical. I'm really hard on myself that I don't do enough, and I wonder always if I'm being a good enough mom or if I'm being a good enough person, if I'm doing enough. But I do know that when I put my head in the pillow at night, I know who I am inside, and I know I am a good person. I know I wish people well, and I'm, and so you kind of, when you know your inner self, and and really my kids would tell you they just tell you I'm silly. So, that tells me everything I need to know. When they have a problem, they come to me. They think I'm funny, and I tend to be the one that goes and gets the Band-Aid. So that's all I need to know about me.
Yeah, for sure. What about you, Elle?
Gosh, obviously, people are going to judge everyone. Like, sadly, that's kind of the world we live in. People love to judge people, and that's the story that people want to read negative stories, which is so. That's the way it works. Like they'll click on that and let's see this, the dirt, and I don't know. I've never really. I haven't been someone that's read like what critics say and like been like crazy about it. Because also I feel like don't give them power. Like they're saying something mean about you, don't give them power in that, and they hate that more, which I love. I'm like, you hate that I don't care. Yeah. So I think, try to, of course, I am sensitive to things, but you have to, don't give them the power,
And one of the most amazing things about this film is this incredible cross-generational relationship. And I know with your work as an activist, you've done so many amazing things to raise younger generations of women up. When you come to doing a film like this, where that message is so profound and so powerful, how important is that for you and for both of you, that relationship?
It's very important. I don't think it's never been something, I was very close to my mother. I've always felt the strength of women. And I spend a lot of time in societies where the women are, well, certainly many where women are oppressed, but many where it is, and almost always the strong center of a community. And I've never not seen the community of women, or the strength, or never not relied on it. But I think it's very important to be strong as women and be together and have that community and support each other. And I also think, which this film says, it's very important to learn from, be close to, and identify the strengths in the men around you.
Yes.
And there are many great men in the film, and that was really important to us, that it wasn't isolated, that you find strength together as women, which many are trying to do now and speaking up about, and somehow that means separate from the men in your life. And it's very important to come together and help them also understand and be a part of the...
Because we're not going to get progress unless we bring men along for the ride as well, right?
And there are sons and husbands, fathers, boyfriends. We are, and women in our nature, we're very nurturing. A lot of people are, of course, but it is not in our nature to. I don't think we're born. Like, you're not born to fight. Maleficent's not born. Well, she may be born to fight, but I think she may have it in her. But I think you're born to. You want to just fight for what you believe in. You don't want to be fighting to survive. And I think there's a big difference, and we have to help a lot of women to get past that place where they're just fighting to survive.
Because there's also in this a lot of power and vulnerability. And when Maleficent taps into her vulnerability, like your character as well, it almost empowers them in a way, which I found really profound. Can you remember a time in your own lives where you've tapped into your own vulnerability and you'd be like, this has actually made me a much, much stronger person?
To me, the actors that I love to watch the most are the most vulnerable and open to the audience. And for me, I always try to remember that, and that weakness, is also can be your strength too. And yeah, I know those times. I don't know. I actually really love kind of feeling vulnerable on set. Is that odd to say? But you know what I mean? It's like there's something so open and raw, and you're just like there. And for me, it kind of can be very cathartic to have like a really just emotional, vulnerable experience. And also, a lot of the time you get, of course, the set, you become family, but in a way you're kind of around strangers. So in a funny way, I feel more comfortable because they don't know me, so I can kind of go there. Like if it was in front of my family or my friends, maybe I wouldn't want to show that side of myself. But on set, I feel more comfortable because, we're all working together to do this thing, and they don't necessarily know what I'm going through, but it's a space where I can just you go in the woods and scream. So I think like vulnerability is really is key in my life, for my art, but also, just in my existence. I don't know.
You do seem like you've always been, and it's part of the strength of Aurora, and it's part of the strength of Elle. She's never shut off her emotional life. She's somebody who wears it, and who wears her softness, and who is strong enough to wear that softness, which a lot of people, they're not.
Because what's your relationship with vulnerability been like, would you say?
That's such a good question. I know, right? What is my relationship with vulnerability? Very similar to Maleficent's. Yeah. We are not comfortable with it.
Guys, congratulations on an incredible film. And for being such amazing, empowering role models for our society as well, because I think you two are just both amazing.
Thank you.
And your work has been so incredible, and I've always admired it. So keep fighting that fight.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, guys.